All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah coming this afternoon. Is it afternoon? Oh no, is it afternoon? Somewhere in there. Morning, afternoon, coming with a message. And this message is wanting individuals to pray to the Most High Yah only if it be His will and only if it's your desire. I don't want you praying to the Most High Yah if you don't have the desire to gain the spirit of discerning. This message is going to cover the spirit of discerning, and it's actually about you knocking and seeking the Most High Yah for the spirit of discerning. There's many of people that's out here, as Daniel was saying, going to and being very successful in their ministry, in their way of teaching and preaching, but they have not what it takes as far as the spirit of discerning. Many people have no idea the gift within, but something about you can be holding that ability to discern. You could be suppressing the gift itself. Because I, Sister Deborah, could not, and I will not accept the fact that the spirit is discerning. It's not a gift that the spiritual seed needed in this day and time. The spiritual seed needs the spirit of discerning, I would think. So I say unto you, you could actually have the gift, but it's not activated because your flesh hinders you to reaching the levels of where the spirit of the Most High Yah has for you. A lot of people don't understand what all the Most High has invested in us is already in us. A lot of times we are letting our flesh defeat the gifts that the Spirit has implanted in us already. So we're walking around not using what we need to be using, especially in a time as this. We need to be seeking, not seeking, but using all the gifts that the Spirit of the Most High has poured out upon us. If there are gifts that you know that you know that you know that you hold, this is the time, Yah. This is the time that everything that Yah has invested in you should be put forth. So I say unto you, pray to the Father that He teach you how to move forward and activate the gift of discernment. Throughout my living, I've always said that everybody who teaches the multitude, you got the priests, you got the apostles, you got the prophets, you got the prophetess, you got the bishops, you got the pope, you got the Maureen, you got the watchmen, you got the seers, you got the evangelists, you got the ministers, you got the teachers that's spilling out so much but have no discerning within them. And if it is, it could be compressed by the flesh. keeping the spirit from being activated. Because I cannot see in this day, in this day, in this day, in this day, anyone going to and fro in the earth with the gift of priests, bishops, apostles, prophet, prophetess, Maureen, pastors, teachers, ministers, evangelists, seers, watchmen, without the gift of discernment. But what I believe is many have not. That's what I do believe. As I was preparing to set up for this video, I thought about a great deal. I really did. About the Father speaking to me regarding the wheat and the tare. He said unto me that he has already separated on the earth the wheat from the tare and the tare from the wheat. Now, what he means is in the spirit realm. Now, we're still together in the flesh. You get it? But in the spirit realm, he has separated the tare from the wheat. Now, he's speaking only of the spirit realm. Okay? So, therefore, we that are of the spirit should definitely need the spirit of discerning. So we can discern who is the tare and who is the wheat. Because I believe wholehearted that those that are of the wheat is still yet entertaining the tare. And I believe the tare is still trying to mingle in the midst of the wheat. I want to tell you something that 99.100 billion don't know. For that same reason that he have separated the tare from the wheat is the same reason why he slaughtered a lamb before the foundation of the world. Because the lamb had a mission before heavens and earth was created to come down to to redeem back something that was lost. So even with that and what I'm saying, as far as and the wheat has been separated in the spirit, yet he in the spirit had slaughtered the lamb to come down to redeem the sheep back to the fold. Okay? That's still happening here today. The Father speaketh, he has separated in the spirit already, Deborah, the wheat from the tare. He's not speaking of the flesh. So therefore, we need something as the wheat to help us in this day to be able to discern the wheat from the tare. And how you can discern the wheat from the tare is the very words one may speak. Mhm, mhm. It allows you to understand who's who and what's what. But I believe that we got so much, which are the we are so much bombarded with so many issues that using the discerning spirit is not one of them. We don't want to use it toward our issues because the discerning spirit will shut down many of our situations we are in. So we don't want to use that gift because that gift will tell you, is it evil or is it good? Or is it dark or is it the light. That's what the spirit of discerning would do. It comes to tell you the difference between the two. Many people don't want that. You know why? Because they don't want to know what's in the midst of them. They don't even want to know who they are actually entertaining. They don't want to know that the terror is among them. They don't want to know that darkness is abiding in the light and the light is abiding with the darkness. So it just dawned on me as I'm speaking that this is a reason why many have not had their discerning gift activated. It's because the discerning spirit, once it is activated, it's in full force. It is in full force. It's exactly something that is bound to you. Once it is activated, it is bound to you. There's no way you can get out of it or away from it. So many don't want, I ain't gonna say they don't want, I can understand why they wouldn't seek the spirit of discerning. But with me, to be honest, I can't live without it. I can't function without it. I can't focus without it. I can't go anywhere without it. You see, it's another one of them bound. It's bound to me, and I'm bound to it. The spirit of discerning. You see, even through people's very words, you can know the tare from the wheat. Even through people's very words, you can know the serpent seed from the spirit seed. Even through people's very word, you can discern what they represent. You can actually discern it. It's just that easy. But what I believe is the cares of the world has people so bombarded with all the cares of the world. They're not thinking, hey, you don't know the significance of the spirit of discerning. That gift alone, that gift alone holds power, y'all. Power to divide the wheat from the tare, power to discern the dark from the light, power to discern the serpent from the spiritual seed, power to discern the wolves from the sheep. So this is what the Father is saying. People are lacking having an activated discerning spirit. Because in me, I say pray, but in we in such a time as this, praying for something that's already in you is useless. It's useless because it's actually showing you the weakness of an individual to where they have to pray for something that's already residing in them to be activated. So I say to you all, desire to use that which you already have to discern the very words of individual, the very actions of individual, the motive, what's behind it. Even if you have to go to a workplace, even if you have to go into the community, even if you have to go to a mall, even if you have to go around your family, even if you have to sit amongst your friends, learn that it's more important to take an activated gift of discerning than an act than no discerning at all. And a lot of people are living like that. They're living in a way that they can't even discern what's on their left nor their right. Many people don't even know who they're sleeping with. Isn't that sad? Many people don't even know what is around them. Many people don't know who they're working with. Many people don't even know who their family members are. People been around their neighbors 10 and 15 years, don't know who's on the left and who's on the right. Now, I tell you one thing that holds a lot of power regarding the discerning spirit, and that is this: it don't play. The discerning spirit will not play with your flesh. Tell them again, Deborah. That discerning spirit, it does not play with your flesh. When it speaks of what's what, it is what it said that it is. Many of you all would even take it and discredit it and say, oh, when I don't think it's, I don't believe it. I don't, I'm not going to take that. That's just, let me kick that thought out of here. Let me not entertain that. But you know what the saddest thing is? This is another reason probably why many people's discerning spirit, which is a gift from the Most High, has never been activated. It's because they are individuals who fight against it instead of letting it work for them. Because it'll warn you in all situations, y'all. It has been a great thing for me to receive the gift of discerning. And it comes with a price. And the price is, are you ready to accept what the discerning spirit is willing to reveal? Yes. That's how powerful the discerning spirit is. It comes with power. Then another thing it comes with is not preparing your flesh for anything. It holds its own authority. It holds its own power. So it ain't here. That gift is not something that patty cake, patty cash, or cause your flesh to feel comfortable or acceptable in what it revealed unto you. That spirit of discerning, it is what it is. It say to you what it say, and it means what it say. It's not going to allow your flesh to counteract it. It's going to stand on what it revealed unto you each and every time. It's not going to try to correct it because your emotions, your feelings, your personal opinion is trying to steer it in another direction. That's another power of this discerning spirit. The discerning spirit is a very, very powerful tool. Let me explain how powerful it is. It's so powerful that everybody refused. Everybody refused to preach that thing, to teach that thing, to reveal that thing. You won't go in a place of worship. You won't go on YouTube. You won't go in a temple or church. Nowhere where they're going to let you know what the discerning spirit is. Because they don't want you to know the power that rests therein. Whew, I said a whole lot. And it brings me back to my mom. It brings me back to her. Because that's what I did as a young person. I identified situations using that same discerning spirit. I was able to identify people, identify situations. You see, right before, is it a good situation or is it an evil situation? Is it coming to hurt or is it coming to heal? So I say unto you, a lot of you all are out here and you think you sit in the center of the throne of the Most High Yah, but you have nothing that teaches you within that you need all of who Yah is, all that He's willing to instill in you to walk in this day and time. And I say that I believe the spirit discerning would rest therein. It's a gift from Yah. But if it rests therein, it's not activated because people don't want it to counteract their discerning in their flesh. They want the discerning in their flesh to always succeed, override. Because when that spirit of discerning pull up, hey, it ain't bound down to your flesh discerning. It ain't bound down to your flesh ways, the way you think in your flesh, the way you comprehend things in your flesh. It's not bound down to it. Matter of fact, it'll shut. It would even discern your own flesh discerning, and it will shut it down. So now it's kind of making it all of us coming to play. This is the reason why many don't have the spirit of discerning activated. It's because they're so used to their flesh making decisions on situations that is before them. you know, and weighing it. Now, see, the spirit of discernment is like a scale, you know, and it's like two scales there, and it even would weigh the darkness and the light. It would weigh evil and good on that scale. I'm telling y'all, that spirit of discernment is such a powerful tool from the Most High God. It is such an awesome gift, but at the same time, it's a price to pay. It's a price to pay, and I mean a price. Are you ready to know who darkness is and who is the light? Are you ready to embrace what you in the midst of, what you are actually entertaining? Are you ready? 99.9 is not ready. And this too is a reason why that gift of discerning that has been activated is not, that has been given, has not been activated. I sit back and I see all of these pastors and these bishops and these priests, these popes, and all of them teaching the mass, the multitude, even here on YouTube, a lot of them preaching and teaching, and they do not have the spirit of discerning, but yet they teach in the multitude. And then you have those who have the gift and refuse to even accept it being activated. It's because they only want to be able to deal with the discerning of their flesh. And see, if 99 point trillion didn't know, your flesh has a spirit, not your flesh has a discerning of its own. And this is the reason why the spirit cannot be activated, because it has given your flesh the leeway, because that's your desire. But I today would like to say to you all, when I think back over my living and I see this day being 65 years almost, I see this day, I'm thinking, who would not want the spirit of discerning in this day and time? Who would not want the spirit of discerning activated in this day and time? Who wouldn't even want to desire that? Who wouldn't even want to seek Yah to activate it? Who wouldn't want it? Those who so used to their flesh having the first say so and the last, and making sure it's what they flesh discern. But I, Sister Deborah, is here to tell you, the spirit of discerning is greater and beyond with your flesh, because your flesh can't discern everybody. Your flesh don't have the gift nor the ability to discern dark from light from dark. Your flesh don't have the ability to discern good from evil, evil from good. Hey, 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 I know it. Y'all think y'all got it made. And that's why I say a lot of people that's on these platforms and in these places of worshiping, they can't even discern, but yet they out there teaching you. If they have not been given me, Sister Deborah is going to tell you, if a pastor been a pastor, there's no way he can be a pastor without having the spirit of discernment, because the spirit tells him what he's in the midst of. You see? The spirit got so much power. The spirit of discernment has so much power in that individual life, if that individual is called by the Holy Spirit to be a pastor. That's why a lot of them don't have the spirit of discernment, because you know what? It'll help them to discern who their congregation is, who's up on their pulpit, who they got teaching, who they got preaching, who they got giving a sermon, who they have before them. That's what the spirit of discerning is. Many, 99.9, don't have that. So they're not worried about who they are dealing with and who they're mingling with and who's on the pulpit and who's in the choir and who is the choir director. They don't care. Everything goes when the spirit, not the spirit, but when the discerning of the flesh is all they embrace. Any and everything goes. I remember the man was telling me about how if you're going to ask me why would I be in the church and why would I be singing in the church, and I'm gay and I'm dressed in the way that I am and I'm doing the things that I'm doing, why ain't you said something about the pastors? And at that moment, I already knew what he was talking about. I already knew what he was talking about. See, this is what I'm saying, you guys. These people are in these places of worshiping, teaching and preaching to you all, calling you, but they teaching you the words. And that's what make me kind of stand down off of them. Because if you go into a place and you're learning and you're up under a pastor or a leader or a bishop or an apostle or prophet or prophetess, and you under them and you're listening to them, and they have no spirit, discerning spirit, they have no spirit and truth, they have no light, then that's where you right, you about right, you right where you need to be. You should be there every day and every time the door is open, because you're right in the place you need to be. A lot of people, because if he said that, Deborah, I have separated the wheat from the tare, I'm like, okay, but we in trouble, ain't we? No, you're not. Because I separate the wheat from the tare from the spirit realm, but they still live around each other in the natural. So you see how important it is. In the flesh, we still live around each other. So you have to be careful in how you entertain people. Be careful with people's words. Hear what they're saying, because a lot of times you thinking you hearing what you think you hear, and that words might sound like it's supporting, but it's got a wicked gender behind it, a wicked purpose behind it. So you really have to be careful. You really, really got to be careful, because the words will come in as loving and as bracing as and so on. But then you got to look, and not look, but use that spirit of discerning to discern what is being said. Everything, when you go somewhere and you meet somebody, treat them nice and do them right. This is another reason why the spirit of discerning is so powerful, because no matter who you go around, it'll warn you if this person is of the dark or if it's of the light. But it does not tell you when treat them bad because they're the opposite of what you are. If you're the light, you don't treat them bad because they're the darkness. That's not what the spirit of discerning is for. It is just to give you the upper head of what you're dealing with. And right today, nobody don't even want to deal with that, because they don't want it to discern when who I met this guy, and I like him, I really like him, and this is what I'm gonna deal with. See, they use their discerning of the flesh. They don't want no part of the spirit discerning that, hey, this here's an evil person. This person don't mean you no good. This person is gonna backstab you. This person is gonna like you in the background, go talk about you. This person is cunning. This is what the spirit of discerning is. And you know what? I believe just because I'm just talking, and it just feeling it. I'm feeling it now, that it's not needed to activate people's discerning spirit when they have settled for their flesh discerning. It's just like serving another Yah or serving another God. They prefer the ways of the flesh, Deborah. So it's no need in the spirit being activated. For what? So it can battle with the discerning of the flesh? No. So it might not be meant that spirit of discerning is activated, but that the beauty of it is that the Father, when he poured out the gifts, he poured it out without repentance. So there's things and gifts that has been poured out that many today have never known they have it, or they hold it. And it's a beautiful thing, like the word truth. 99 point, let's say 20 trillion wouldn't know that it rests in them. It was given to Adam. But it didn't make change him. Just because it was given to Adam, it didn't mean that Adam was going to go the way of truth, and his truth was going to be activated where he going to represent spirit and truth in the light. He went the opposite way, but he did have truth. That's what made him get be created so perfect, and everything was so good and perfect, because truth was represented, when he was created. You see, so that's like the spirit of discerning in this day and time. We that are the true body of Hamashiach, we are the true light. We are the true saints, as they want to call it, or the true church, we need the spirit of discerning so that we may be able to stand in when we have to come upon people and we know who individuals are. It's a discerning spirit. Now, one might say, but if we have the Holy Spirit already, should not that come with it? Everything comes with it when you have the Holy Spirit. Everything you gain with the Holy Spirit. But you have to understand that those were gifts that was poured out without repentance. Okay? So therefore these gifts were given and portioned out. See, what people don't understand, these gifts were given from the kingdom. Y'all stop being dumb about the situation. These gifts were given from the kingdom. And the kingdom knew already who he was going to come in and abide in. But it did not stop him from pouring out the gifts that he knew that you would need as an elect of the Most High Yah, as a servant of the Most High Yah. You see, as a anointed spirit of the Most High Yah. He knew what you still would need, and he made sure he poured it out unto you. Did he know he was going to come and abide in you? Sure he did. But he wasn't taking and adding and taking away from you. He just made sure you had what it needs for the journey in which you must travel. And in this day and time, to me, if people ain't observed the time, not the time, but the day we are in, I believe this is what's going to cause many to 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 really end up where they were predestined. Because I can't see it where individuals are actually seeking the narrow gate. You can't even think that, hey, okay, the narrow gate is here in the broad here. If I'm here on the earth, I'm that living witness. I'm that not dead prophet, not dead servant of the Most High, not dead prophet of the Most High, but a living one. And I'm here to tell you, all I see is people going through the broad gate. I'm going to tell it like I see it, and the way the Spirit lives in me to allow me to see things through the light, through the reality of what is before us. Now, you would get people that come on here on the on these YouTubes, and they'll tell you the lie on top of the lie on top of the lie, and that's the route people go. That's the route they go. But they don't understand. You're going through the gate that leads to destruction. You're going to the broad gate. You're not going through the narrow. People don't care about a narrow gate. That's something else as a living prophet here on the earth and not a dead one. The reality is, what is it I see it? I see that no one's going through your narrow gate. But did not I tell you it was the way and it was narrow? Yes, Father, but I don't see. You ask me what I see. I see nobody's going through your narrow gate. You see? So it's no reason for me to have to come and give a message like unto this. But the reason why you need to, because if there's those out there that are self-centered, self-ego, and I can, and so many other things that they can actually be, is because they're not in the same gate. You see, they're going a different way, so they are entitled to see things different, or to go in the way of what fits them in the way they are. But I can assure you this: anybody that's going in the narrow gate, they want to go the right way. They're not trying to get in the narrow gate with trying to be cunning and crafty and sneaky and all these other. They think that that's how weak the Creator is. They don't understand you are not nowhere near the narrow gate. You already didn't started in the broad gate. It's just that you just portraying in the broad gate that you are holy than thou. You are anointed and appointed. And what the world don't understand, those are the type of people need to be discerned. They're the one that needs to be discerned because they're getting away with the fact that everywhere they go, I mean, everywhere that they have taken a step on this platform has always been a battle for them. It's always been a chaos, you see? And this is their only way. Those are the individuals that needs to be discerned, but they don't have to be discerned because if individuals don't have the spirit of discerning in them and they have their own flesh discerning, then they need to be caught up in the same trap, listening to those that are out to and about, going to and fro, just trying to see who's going to allow them in as they are. And a lot of times they think that I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and I'm that, I'm all this and I'm all that. But what it is a spirit that's claiming all the light, that's claiming spirit and truth, that's claiming to be righteous, but they themselves have no idea that what is impacted in them is a dark spirit claiming to be a light. You see what I'm saying? And even if they have to go to and fro to try to convince in any shape, form, or fashion others, they go for it. They go for it. Anything to make me feel that I'm the light, I will go into any situation and try to turn it into darkness just so I can appear to be the light. So I say unto you, the greatest thing to look forward to in such a time as this, because he's not going to come and make the crooked straight. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if everywhere individual goes, everywhere you go, it's the same thing. You're booted out, or somebody boot your tail out, then that shows you that you're not as much light as you are darkness, because it's just everywhere. And it's easy because a lot of people are claiming that, but they ain't but people ain't realizing that it ain't that the Satan is in darkness is not after nobody but the light. But when you claim that you the light and you using cunning and craftiness to go after the light, and you claim you the light, you see, it's because it's darkness that's really in the midst of you, and that means in your inner man, and you're playing both sides. And I believe in this day is what going to get a lot of people trapped, and it's going to be no way out. Because when it all said and done, you guys, let me tell you, it's only two gates. You can make it any other way you want to. You can sit and say, no, sister, it's a way here, it's a way here, it's a way here, it's a way I can go forward, it's a way I can go backwards, or I can go left, I can go right. You can make it any way you want. It ain't number two ways. That's it. He founded everything under the twos, and everything would disrespect his order of how he did it, and he created it under the twos. Either you in or you out. And like I said, without the spirit of discerning and having the discerning spirit of the flesh, those are enemy to each other, you see. And you're not going to be able to use the discerning of the flesh thinking it's going to discern evil and good and dark and light. It can't, y'all. The discerning of the flesh only discern the things of the flesh. It can't even, and matter of fact, it is only rest in darkness. It can't even discern things of the light. The spirit of discerning in your flesh can only discern darkness. It cannot discern light. It cannot discern good from evil. It cannot discern hot from cold as a form of evil. Fire from what else? The opposite of the fire. It can't discern stuff like that. But when the spirit of discerning pull up, it's going to cut in and cut out. It's going to tell the truth of the whole matter. And you know what? It comes with a price, y'all. It really does. Because it's not coming to discern who you say you want to discern. It's coming to do what it does best with the power that rests in it. It comes to discern what is evil and what is good. What represents Satan and what represents Yah. What is darkness, what is light. That's what it comes to do. It ain't coming to sling that type of power with your emotions and your feelings and your personal opinion. Leave that discerning of your flesh. Let your flesh discern that. But the spirit of discerning, it ain't coming to play. It coming to set exactly what, not to set, but to say exactly what is in the midst of you. And it's a sad thing that a lot of us walk around want to be holy than thou. We want to be the anointed ones. We want to be the servants of the Most High Yah. We want to be the saints. We want to be the Christians. We want to be everything. But no one wants the spirit of discerning to help them along the way, because it will allow you to discern any and everybody that's in your midst, whether they face to face, hundreds of miles. You see, that spirit of discerning will show up and show out when you least expect it to, because it carries this certain level of power. It's it. The spirit of discerning has an order, and the order is to always separate the two, good and evil. So whatever form it might come in, whether it's light or dark, you see, serpent seed or spiritual seed, whatever it's coming in, discern that bad boy. Call it what it is, and it moves on. It don't come to play with your flesh to make you feel good about the decision you chose to go in, even after you were told that it was evil. And that's why I say it comes with a price. A lot of people don't want to pay the price on that. They flesh don't want to pay the price, because the discerning spirit are cut up and cut out. It'll tell you what's what and keep on going. It ain't sitting here. It ain't gonna come to play with you and play patty cake, patty cake. It's gonna tell you what's evil. It's gonna tell you what's good, and it's out of there. It ain't got time to play with you, because it's carrying too much power. What is the power in it, Deborah? It's truth. The power of telling you straight up from the floor up the truth. Something many people don't even want to have nothing to do with. They like the truth of their flesh. Anything that come across their flesh, that's what they like to settle with. But the spirit of discerning don't play. Don't play. I'm going to set another example. They came to the complex saying they checking everybody's dryer. And they said from one day to like the first to the third. So they pulled up on the second, and the knock, watch, tell them, Deborah, tell them. The knock on the door alone was unpleasant to me. Praise the Most High God. The knock that was on the door was not a knock that gave me, oh, I wonder who that is. Oh, who is that? It was a knock of darkness. I mean, really. So I looked through the peephole, and he said, "We're here to check the dryers." I said, "I thought it was the first and the third." No, it was the first, second, and third. So they were there on the second. And this one, I still in my memory. He had a mold right here, a black mold. And the other one that was behind him was the company that was doing the drying. He came in, he was real friendly. The other one stepped in and bagged his tail way out. Yes, he did. He came in and bagged up, because you guys, and I still hold his face in my memory, because I said, this is one of the guys that works in this complex, and I must remember. I ain't gonna remember, because that's what the spirit of discerning is for. It locked it in. His face in that mold, that knot that he had, all of it. That's what the spirit of discerning is for. Letting me know this is one you will not and shall not trust. He took one step. The guy came in. He took a step in and got shot right out. It's the spirit, y'all. He knew that his spirit knew that he was in a place that was holy. Let me get out of here. The other guy, he checked it dry and he was really nice. I could feel the difference, y'all. Not that one was the light, but I could feel the difference of the darkness. See, y'all, if you run your door and tail around here and think you got it made from A to Z and you think you're holier than thou, you keep playing with that. That fire that the Father said we're going to be all tried by, and even me, tried by that fire, you better hope you stand. Because if you don't, you're going to buckle and end up right in the broad gate where you need to be and you should have been all the time. Because that situation alone, it still live in me. Just thinking about how he backed up. He took one step in, backed on out real quick. Like somebody didn't scared him or something. The other guy came straight in and did what he got to do, and he went on out. But I sat back and I saw how that guy came in. I can still see his face, y'all. I can still see he was a very thin European guy, but it was a look on him that my whole face glued to. And I remember the black mold that was here. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and he like stepped in, one step, stepped out. You see, this is what you call the spirit of discerning. The spirit of this discerning ain't telling you to be nasty, be mean, hollering and yelling and acting a fool with nobody. It's just there to help you along in this dark and evil world. Okay? Some people don't need that help because they so loaded of the ways of their flesh that they ain't thinking about getting any help in the spirit realm. But that's not the only time. What the spirit of discerning is for. Let me explain to y'all. I was describing what he looked like. That he was a European. He had a mold on his face. But it's no detachment to the flesh. It's wanting you to know I come to discern, Deborah, the spirit of an individual. And what the Father is saying is, if Sister Deborah discerned the spirit, she actually know who the flesh is. You see? Because the 99.9 have no idea that it's who you are in your spirit that makes who you are in your flesh. A lot of places people would say, well, I ain't done nothing to them. I don't know why they hate me or why they dislike me or why they so mean to me. It's because you still have not learned. All these thousands of years, everything he did based on the tools. Either it's going to be the spirit or the flesh. That's why the elites chose to put soul in there. So you would always be confused even to this very day. Because if we put another entity in there, and we did with soul, it'll confuse them that it's not just flesh and spirit, but there's another entity that's override the both. That's why they did that. But in Yah, it's only flesh and spirit. As you look in Revelation, he tells you it's all about flesh and spirit. You don't hear him all about soul this, soul that, soul that. That was the elites. They added that to confuse you all. So what I'm saying about the spirit of discerning, it's coming to only discern the spirit of the individual. And if it discerns the spirit of the individual, it's telling you about the flesh of the individual. And sometimes it don't even need to say a word. It don't even need to say a word because the spirit is detaching to the spirit. The spirit is pulling up on the spirit. So when his spirit pulled up on my spirit, he stepped down. You see? I saw his face and I felt the feeling. That was the discerning spirit. You see? And the first thing I said, I'm gonna make sure that he don't come ever in my place. You see? So I already gave them a note that no one comes there if I'm not there. If they're going to come, I am the one that should be aware of them coming. I want to be there when they come. So I did put that on my form. But people, I'm saying to you all, where we are at in this day, it is so critical for those that are full of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, to desire to have that gift of discerning. And it's just a gift that Yah see fit. It's not a gift that you want just to be wanting it or to use it like a weapon. That's what everybody's doing today. They using the gifts of Yah like a weapon. and they can't even use them right, and it don't benefit them. That's the thing about it. They don't get nowhere with it. It don't benefit them because they using it. They think they using the gifts of Yah, and they just using the flesh of their the ways of their flesh, and they calling it spiritual gifts. And that's what's really going on in the world. People want to call everything holy and everything spiritual, and all you have to do, go back to what he said, try that spirit by that spirit, because everything is set up in the spirit realm, y'all. So that's what spirit of discerning is. It's to say that, say, for instance, you have to work, you get off at 6 and it's a little dark outside. Somebody coming up on you, the spirit of discerning would already let you know before you come out that building something's gonna take place, or this individual gonna walk. It'll even tell you what a person gonna look like. It'll even tell you in the morning when you wake up, when you go out here, this gonna happen. I'm telling you, that's the spirit of discerning. It will discern the evil that would be in the way of who your spirit is. So I, Sister Deborah, is just wanting to say unto you, be careful in any and everything, even the very words that people may speak to you. People may speak to you, people may send you texts and send you messages. Be careful. Be careful. All you have to do is listen to the words. And if you don't have the spirit of Yah really rooted in you, you're going to miss it every time. All you have to do is be aware when women, I see this here, trying to say something, but what are you saying? That's how people are coming into people's lives, is through words. They wanting you to think that they coming in innocent, but they really coming in at using cunning and, and words to trap you. So you have to least and hope. I would hope that everybody would that is uh, Holy Spirit filled, that they would be able to use that wonderful, or have, or be given by Yah such an awesome gift as the spirit of discerning. Because where we're at today, you need to understand who's pulling up beside you, who's walking beside you, who's in your surroundings, and that's another place where you know that it's a really a powerful gift. Is you don't have to be in their presence; you can discern them, and even their very words can be discerned. That's another beauty of discerning, the spirit of discerning. You can discern what a person's mindset is all about, and if they're on the dark side or if they're on the light side, even from their very words. So I, Sister Deborah, say I hope someone got something out of this, and just seek the Most High, and in a way that if I have this gift, can I knock? I'm knocking hard. You said if I knock, the doors answer, you answer the door. You say if I seek, I'm going to find. These are the things he's telling us. He's telling us those things we're going to need in the spirit realm. Seek him for it. Knock, ask. You have not cause you what? You knock not. You have not cause you what? You ask not. You have not cause you seek not. So these gifts that, and a lot of people have the gift of healing and have no idea that it's in them. It's because people wants to use the way of the flesh to portray the way of the spirit, and you can't do that. It won't work. They want to use the way of the flesh to say that they have the way of the spirit, and it ain't gonna work. In such a time as this, he can separate the wheat from the tare. And the tare gonna be all up on the wheat, and the wheat has to understand I have already separated you from the wheat, from the tare. You wants to keep running up to the wheat, to the tare, you go right ahead. You're gonna find yourself right back in where I have already separated you. So I, Sister Deborah, would say unto you all, seek the face of Yah in his ways, and his ways only, and pray to the Father that everything that he has prepared for you and has given to you, pray that he would activate it within you, that you want to be able to use all that he has invested in you for a time, and not a time, a day as this, because we're going to need it, y'all. We're really, seriously going to need it. So I, Sister Deborah, will be back again with questions at 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to tackle a lot of questions of of what something really means or make sense out of something that hasn't been brought out in this day and time, and we're gonna make some sense out of it. So I'll be back live at 8 p.m. Central Time. I hope you got something out of this and have a wonderful Sunday. And I see you at 8 p.m. Central. Shalom and shalom.